Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. I see Abigail. I see Lisa. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Just going to give a second, since it's not really 11 yet. It's about 1 minute before, to see if anyone else wants to join us live. The birds are singing really loud outside, so I don't know if you can hear that. Okay, it is 11. Let me say hello. Welcome to Spring Clean Your Diet 2022 edition. I did this program last year as well, but I completely redid it for this year with all the new tips. Some of them might overlap, but I think there's at least 8 new tips besides last year. So let me just share my screen. There we go. Hopefully everyone can see my pretty slide. See if I can get rid of, oops, let me get out of this for a second. I want to try to get rid of this box. Okay. There we go. So welcome to Spring Clean Your Diet. Spring Clean Your Diet the Mediterranean way. So I always like to start off with a quote. And here is a quote from Audrey Hepburn. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. So let's give our diet and lifestyle a refresh for the new season with hopes of having a longer, healthier life in the future. Let me check with my helper. Everything going okay? Okay. Everyone can hear me? So first I'm going to start off by telling you a little bit about myself in case you are new to me. My name is Donna DeRosa. I am a former automotive journalist. I am now a lifestyle coach. I have been so for many years. I'm the author of 2 cookbooks. In 2020, I came out with a big book of Mediterranean diet cooking. And just this year, just actually on April 5th, officially, I came out with Flexitarian Cookbook for Beginners. I'm also a certified life coach, and I'm a lover of all things Italian. So our Spring Clean Your Diet is going to be tips about Mediterranean diet and lifestyle with an Italian flair. Oh, before we get there, I wanted to just tell you, the Mediterranean diet and lifestyle has changed my life in so many positive ways. And that is the basis for this Spring Clean Your Diet. I have some tips for eating well and also about living well. Because the Mediterranean diet, I say this many, many times, it's not just a diet, it's really a lifestyle. It's a complete lifestyle change to where it's not a diet to where you have to starve yourself or anything like that. It's just a new way of living and a new way of eating and a new way of thinking about food. So our ancestors used to live by the seasons. They didn't have the luxury of large supermarkets and supply chains that can bring them food from anywhere in the world. They lived by the weather, the climate, what they could grow or what they could catch, and that dictated what they ate. And spring was a time of celebration when the earth renewed itself and all the fruits and vegetables were plentiful again. When I think of spring, I think of fruits and flowers. And every spring on my front lawn, right now we have primroses, daffodils, and hyacinths, and they just come back every year. I don't really do anything to them, but they're the first ones that pop up, and I know that it's a sign of spring. And luckily, they come back without me doing anything really. So in the backyard also, I always plant herbs, fresh herbs, and a lot of those come back on their own too. So the rosemary usually is an evergreen, so it sticks around all season, but it gets kind of gray looking in the winter. But as soon as spring comes, it starts getting nice and fresh and green looking again. But then when the first thing that comes back really are the chives. So chives are those long, they look like really tall grass and then get these little purple flowers on them that are actually edible. And they sort of have like an oniony flavor. So they're one of the first things that come back for me. I noticed that the strawberries that we planted last year are starting to come back. Every year they come back a little healthier and a little better. Like the first year we got like 3 strawberries. And then last year maybe we got about 10 strawberries. So I'm hoping for an abundance of strawberries this year. And last year for the first time I planted onions in a pot and they were kind of small when they grew. But I noticed this year I just left the pot out there and didn't pay any attention to it. And they're coming back on their own. So I love that because I don't really have a particularly green thumb. If anything, I'm not really good with plants at all. So luckily these things, when I plant them outside, they just come back naturally. So I'm fortunate to live in New Jersey, in southern New Jersey, where there are lots of farms around me. And right now, the farm markets are starting to open up again, and we're seeing like an abundance of fresh fruits and vegetables. And it just makes me really excited, which is all a big lead into my first tip, which is to eat seasonally. So right now in season, asparagus are in their peak season. So look out for asparagus in the store. It's always nice to eat vegetables when they're at their peak season because it's when you're supposed to be eating them. And also in season right now are all the salad lettuces like arugula and endive and watercress, dandelion greens and spinach. And we also have peas and radishes and all the cabbages, the green cabbages, the purple cabbages, cauliflower, carrots, strawberries, and many of the fresh herbs. So take advantage of them. Number 2 is to plant some fresh herbs. Now, if you've ever taken any of my programs before, I used to run a program called the La Dolce Vita Spring Training. And it was a little free program that I used to do. It ran for a week. And the first thing I had everyone do was to plant some kind of fresh herb. And usually basil or something like that that's really easy to grow. So basil is so easy. It just flourishes. You can grow it from seed. You can buy a little basil plant in the store and just keep it in your kitchen. You can just, if you don't have any area outside, you can just keep these fresh herbs in pots in your kitchen or around your home because they're pretty as well as they smell lovely. And then you can use them in your cooking. So if you've ever taken my program before, that's the first thing I used to do is tell people to plant something really versatile like basil, because basil you can use in anything. You can put it in your tomato sauce. You can put it in soup. You can put it in salads. You can just tear up the leaves and sprinkle it on top of something. So I suggest starting with basil and then moving on with some more interesting things. And so maybe like plant something that's new to you, like tarragon or chervil or something like that. And even if you don't know what to do with it, learn, plant it and just figure out some recipes that can go with that. And I never really used tarragon much, but I started using it this past year and I'm like, oh, I'm in love with tarragon all of a sudden. So you never know what you will find that you really love. And then as your herbs bloom, think about how you're blooming too. So tip number 3, let me take a sip of water, is to organize and clean out your fridge and pantry. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much fun, does it? You're like, hey, this is supposed to be the fun girl with the fun tips and the easy lifestyle. But you will feel so much better when it's done. Just take your time, do 1 shelf a day or something like that so it doesn't seem like a big chore. And really wipe it clean and get to the depths of your fridge and just start over. You always have like milk dribbles or something that like come out of your packages on the shelves and stuff like that. Or sometimes I'll find something that I put away in one of the crisper drawers and it's in a little Ziploc baggie and it's unidentifiable when I find it. And I throw it out and I'm like, what was that? So really there's probably something in there. I mean, it can't just be me, right, that finds these weird things in the refrigerator. So really dig into the depths of your fridge and just start over. Get rid of anything that no longer serves you, anything that is not what you see your future self eating, and then replace it with all these fresh seasonal vegetables and fruits that are coming out right now. And do the same thing with your pantry. I just did this with my pantry recently. I have a pantry that is, you probably can't see it in the shot, but it's in the corner and it goes really deep because, it's on that angle. And I was just cleaning it out and couldn't believe the things that I found. I found this big bag of brown rice that I totally forgot buying. So clean out your pantry and refresh and see what's in there. Because it's sort of like going shopping for free. All of a sudden I was like, whoa, I have all this brown rice. So that is tip number 3. Tip number 4 is to get inventive with salads. Now, salads don't have to be a bowl of limp lettuce with some dressing on top. Add some vegetables, add some whole grains. You can put some fish on top. It could be anchovies, it could be salmon. You could put meat or chicken, beans, seeds, and just try to add all the colors of the spectrum, so red radishes and, maybe an orange bell pepper, and then the green with the cucumber, and, just try to, all of the vegetables and fruits that have the different colors give you different nutrients. So try to make a rainbow salad and try to experiment with some new lettuces. It's really easy to get stuck in just buying romaine or iceberg. There are so many lettuces out there to experiment with. Like, I love arugula. I love to put watercress in a salad and add herbs to your salad. So if you plant some herbs in your kitchen, just chop up some parsley or some basil or oregano or the tarragon and just sprinkle them in your salad and just go crazy with it. Or make your own vinaigrette and put the herbs in the vinaigrette. I always recommend that people eat 5 to 10 servings of vegetables a day. And that's really not as difficult as it sounds, because servings are really small. Like, if you think of the palm of your hand, that's probably about 3 ounces of a piece of meat or something like that. So if you cup your hand and you fill it up, that's probably about a tablespoon, and that's all a serving really is. Maybe a handful like this of broccoli would be the serving size. So if you make a well-rounded salad and you put all these things, you're getting most of the servings of vegetables that you're supposed to eat in one day, and really, so up your salad game with a super healthy salad. I actually bought a book recently called Salad Love, and it was a guy who had a food blog, and he experimented by making a different salad every single day. And he organized his book in seasons. You don't have to have the book to make some inventive salads, but he really got interested in adding different ingredients like spiraling vegetables and things like that, or adding meats, or adding, nuts and seeds and different grains, chickpeas, anything like that to add to your salad. And it's a nice, healthy way to eat. So number 5, my tip is to try plant-based milk. And I'm going to take a sip of water. We are the only species on the planet that drink another species' milk. And we're also continue to consume milk well past the early years of child development. So cow's milk is not something that as adults we're supposed to have on a daily basis. So I've switched to almond milk in my cooking and in my coffee, and I really don't see any texture when I'm cooking. So if I make mashed potatoes, I usually pour milk in, to get the consistency that I want. I started using almond milk and I really see no difference. I've made bechamel sauce with almond milk. I've used it in cake recipes. Try it in your morning coffee or tea. Just try a different kind of milk. There are all kinds out there. There's almond, there's oat, there's coconut, cashew. Just go to the supermarket and look at all the alternative milks that you'll see there and try to wean yourself off the cow. And speaking of cows, my next tip is try not to eat so often from the barnyard. Now, if you do, make sure that you surround your food with lots of vegetables. Now, a typical American breakfast is eggs, bacon or sausage, toast with butter, coffee or tea with milk or cream. So you've got eggs, meat, and dairy all in one meal. The combination of these barnyard foods altogether is not healthy, especially for men and prostate health. Now, I was just reading an article about this, and it said, so if you do eat from the barnyard, to combine those meals, it's the combination of those things, by eating the meat and the dairy and everything all in one sitting. Try to also combine them with fruits and vegetables around them, so you're not just eating from the barnyard. So try to make a veggie omelet instead, or add some fruit or some slices of tomato to the side of your breakfast, and then use the almond milk in your coffee or tea. So think outside the barnyard and eat the fields instead. Tip number 7 is to stay hydrated. So now as the weather is starting to get warmer, we need to drink water. And like, I carry a bottle of water around with me all day. I sip all day long, just even when I'm on a call like this. I love water. Drink lots of water. Water is good for you. Water is life. It's necessary for us to live and to live, and drink way more water than you think you actually need. Now, if you don't find water palatable, I know a lot of people say they don't like water, it's boring. It's tough love time. You just have to drink your water. Just put it out of your mind that you don't like water. You have to drink water. So add some lemon to it, add some fruit slices to it if it makes you happy, but just do it. And sweet tea and Crystal Light do not count. You have to actually drink water. And some fruits can also provide hydration as well, like watermelon. Watermelon is filled with water. That's how it gets its name. Okay, tip number 8 is to try micro workouts. This is my new thing, because the number one people tell me, the excuse people give me for not exercising is that they don't have time. Now, we all know that's just an excuse, right? Even when we hear those words coming out of our own mouths. So I work from home. I sit in front of a computer all day. And sometimes when I'm concentrating on something, I find that I haven't stood up for hours. And that's a problem. So I downloaded this app. You don't have to use the app. You can just set up reminders on your phone or something like that, or just, remind yourself. I downloaded this app called Stand Up. And you can set reminders on it. Every once in a while it dings and it tells me to stand up. And you can actually customize the message. So I changed it to say, stand up, do 3 squats, 5 plies, and 10 push-ups. So I have it dinging on the hour. So as I'm sitting and working and concentrating on something, it dings. I look down, I see this reminder, I get up, I move around a little bit, and I do that several times throughout the day. And then by the end of the day, I've kind of had a whole workout, So if you really find yourself strapped for time, just try to do these little micro workouts. It's better than doing nothing. And it's a really easy way that you can get something done. Like I had a goal a few years ago. I started doing push-ups, and I was trying to build up to doing 50 push-ups a day. And then I found that when I do them throughout the day, if I do 5, and then I do 5, or maybe I do 10 a little later, by the end of the day, I've done all of my push-ups, and I didn't struggle doing them all at one time. It's probably a little easier on your body as well. So that's my new thing. Try micro workouts. Tip number 9 is to get some fresh air. It's the time when the weather is getting warmer and it's beautiful and you can smell the flowers outside. So get outside in the sunshine and soak up some vitamin D. Take a walk, saunter around the neighborhood, go to your local park. Get some beneficial exercise while enjoying the warmer weather. Because spring can make us feel reinvigorated, but only if we let it. It's easy to stay inside and not do anything. So enjoy it. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the flowers. Enjoy the warm sun on your face. And my bonus tip is to get a really cool pair of sunglasses. So not only do you look good, but they'll help protect your eyes from damaging UV rays when you're outside as well. And now the last tip is your diet is not just what you put in your body. It's what you consume in other ways. So it's the books you read or you don't read. It's the TV programs that you watch. It's the amount of time that you spend on social media. It's the bad news that you hear on television all the time just coming into your head. So be mindful of what you're putting into your brain as well as your body. And try to read books and magazines that inspire you. If you like to read decorating magazines or buy an art book or go to a museum or go to a concert, consume quality content, because when you consume quality content, you will output quality content as well. So what you put in is what you're going to get out. So junk in, junk out, quality in, quality out. You'll be a more interesting person, and I guarantee you will be more happy and more positive as well. So before we wrap up, I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you about my program that is coming up. It starts on May 1st. It's called the Mediterranean Body Mind Detox. It's a Mediterranean diet and lifestyle program, but it's so much more than that. I ran this program as a beta in January, and some people took the program with me. I got their feedback, so I've improved it this time. I always plan to do it again starting in May with feedback of the people who actually took it. So it's a 4-week program. In week 1, we go into the Mediterranean diet and all of its health benefits. Each week builds on the next week. So then the next week we continue with the Mediterranean diet, but we work on mindset work, which is really the most important thing that we can do for ourselves. Week 3 is about la bella figura, and that's the Italian concept of the beautiful figure. It's about looking good, taking care of yourself. It's also about acting with good manners, being an amiable person. It's just generally being a pleasant person to be around. And week 4, we work on upgrading our environment, so that our environment matches what's going on the inside, and decluttering the kitchen and pantry and stuff like that. But then there is also a fun DIY project that I have on that last week. So it all combines into a well-rounded program that can help you lose weight, can help you be happier, upgrade your lifestyle, and it's fun. I've designed it to be fun. So if you want more information on my Body Mind Detox program, please go to my website, DonnaDeRosa.com at Body Mind Detox, or if you just go to the homepage on DonnaDeRosa.com, it's right at the top of the homepage, and you can just click there to find out more information. The registration is open now. It opens this weekend. I set it up before I came on this call. The program actually starts May 1st. On the last day of April is when you'll get all your course materials, because there's a workbook, there are some sample meal plans, there's some recipes. And like I said, there's some fun projects along the way. There are some recipes that I'll share with you and things like that. And there are 4 live coaching calls. So every week there will be a live lesson where I teach, and there's an opportunity for questions and things like that. And if there's anything you want to be coached around, or if anything you're not clear on. So let me look at the chat box. I see that someone is chatting. Let me stop sharing my screen for a second. Let's see in the chat. Abigail was a part of Body Mind Detox. I was a part of your Body Mind Detox program last time. I loved it. And I automatically registered for this program. Oh my God, yes. Thank you so much for reminding me, Abigail. If you've taken the course before, you have lifetime access. So if you join this time as well, you will have access to the course every time that I do the course in the future. And every time I do the course, I'm going to work on improving it. So yes, thank you for reminding me, Abigail. I probably told you that at the end of the program last time, but yes, thank you for reminding me. And I'm so glad you enjoyed the program. I enjoyed having you in the program. Let me get back to my slides. I like to always end with a quote as well. So the magic in new beginnings is truly the most powerful of them all. And that is by Josiah Martin. And thank you so much for joining me. So I am going to stop sharing my screen and say hello again to everyone. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat box below. If you have any questions about the Body Mind Detox or just about things that we went through today, please feel free to type them in now. I will give you a minute to do that in case you have any. This replay will be available if you want to watch it again. And if you come up with any questions when you're watching the replay, wherever you find the replay, there will be some place where you'll be able to type in questions there if you come up with some for later. So if I'll post this in the Facebook group, I'll post this on YouTube, I'll post it on my website. So wherever you have found me, you could be on my newsletter. I will post a place there. I'll post a replay there, and then you can always ask me questions if you come up with some questions later on. So let me check the chat. I don't see any questions, so I am just going to then say, Lisa's saying thank you. I enjoyed the tips, and we'll check out the course. Thank you, Lisa. I hope to see you there. And let me know if you have any questions. So just go right to DonnaDeRosa.com. You'll see it at the top of the page. So if that's all, I'm going to wrap it up today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful spring and a wonderful summer. And I hope to see you on May 1st in the Body Mind Detox. Yay! You as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.